Welcome everyone! Glad to have you here today. We are on part 5 of Power of Surrender. Looking forward to sharing with you today. What a beautiful day post-Easter. Hope you enjoyed the Easter weekend or whatever it may have been that you were celebrating or up to over the weekend. And today we're going to be diving into another aspect of surrender and the power of surrender as it relates to thriving in your business, especially financially. So we're going to get into that, and today I'm actually going to offer you a brief meditation so you can soak that up right here on this live today, and to enjoy that. So we may also offer you some channeling, some energy scanning, me and the team, So we'll see what wants to unfold. But first I'll talk a little bit about the subject as I always do, and then dive into the more experiential, interactive aspect of the Facebook Live today. All right, so just on a personal note, it's been interesting coming onto the Facebook Live today. Seems appropriate to go ahead and mention that. New update, right? New update on the computer. Couldn't get on a call that I wanted to get onto. Then I found out they didn't even show up for the call. So I was trying to get on a call. I was running late. It turned out they hadn't even showed up for the call. And just so many different things. I've got another appointment set up today, but then it conflicted with another thing. So there's always all these different sorts of situations, right? The astrology folks here listening are going to say, you're having these things come up today, this chaos, because of X, Y, Z. I think that's fascinating. That's awesome. All I know is it's been an interesting day today. Nothing, tremendously difficult at all, but it's been interesting. Been an interesting time. So, but this isn't what we're facing again on a collective level. It's like, again, we want to, wherever you are, right? The thing that's not so new is we're here and we want to be somewhere else, and then how do we navigate that in a way that we're not, again, end running it sort of thing, or trying to force and control things into manifestation. There's a lot of talk within my background of metaphysics of we will control our reality. Because certainly I can control my thoughts, right? Certainly I can control my energy and the focus of my intent and desires. True. Certainly I have the ability to, as an infinite being, manifest anything I want when I want, baby. No doubt about it, right? Right? Is it right or is it right? So why the heck don't you act like it then, right? Okay, so we get all these ideas. I know with metaphysics that I was brought up in, so to speak, often again it would come into a guilt, come on, what's wrong with your consciousness? You are infinite power after all. Why are you not manifesting what you want? How have you been minding your consciousness lately? And so it gets to this idea we could have controlled our entire consciousness to make whatever, our will or our ego or whatever you want to call it, wants to manifest anytime, any place, every moment. And I think that's gets to be a little bit sticky, to say the least, that kind of approach. Can we mind our consciousness and manifest miracles on demand? To a degree, right? And then there's those things in the unconscious that we don't know what's going to unfold. Just like today, if I tuned in and I was really honest with myself, I probably could have seen some of the things coming that I faced earlier today. These little snags, right? Probably would have noticed it. Maybe I already did notice it. Maybe even as I say this now, I really did notice it, and I just said, yeah, but that's okay. Let's see what happens. Let's say, so what? So it's going to be messy. Whatever. Do I need to command it? Do I need to make it happen? Change it. I have to always change the outcome forever. I always say when people get addicted to the idea of the power they have and the ability they have to manifest, I say, great, double, triple down and do it forever, come back to me, even 30 years from now, or even 3 weeks in some cases. It depends where you are in your journey. Let me know how you're feeling about it. And eventually, you start to find that there's a sense of efforting in it that does not feel appropriate. There's this sense of wanting to surrender to even the idea that I can have all these greater outcomes because I can plant the seed. I can make it grow. I can make this happen. We perhaps need to surrender even those ideas. Does that mean we wipe them clean? We no longer believe in these things at all? There's no truth, reality to them? No. All this black and white thinking gets us in trouble, right? So it's a matter of no. But this idea of, if you've ever been in that space, maybe some of you really haven't been, trying to control your reality all the time, but if you've been there, or you're there recently, and you felt a little exhausted by it, I'm here to give you permission. You don't have to control your reality. You don't have to make it happen all the time. There's a grace, there is an ease of really tuning into your deeper soul's desires, the deeper truth of what wants to happen, that allows things to magically come into place. Oh, he's saying you don't have to put action. You don't have to, put your back into it a little bit or whatever. I didn't say any of that, right? But it's funny. That's what our minds do. Our minds will create these black and white scenarios. What I'm saying is there's a grace, there's an ease, connecting with our deeper soul's desires, being in sync, in harmony with our deeper nature and what's really wanting to unfold through it, that can produce miracles and demonstrations of things without utilizing that sense of having to make it happen. And that's one of the things I keep, in part, one of the number of things I've been pointing to during this series is for us to pay attention to those things. Hi, Susan. Good to see you. We get a little caught up in this idea, almost like the sugar rush of Easter, right? I love sugar. The more the better. So the manifestation techniques sometimes get that way. The more manifestation technique, the better. After a while, it gets to be a bit heavy. So can we relax? Can we allow that which is naturally, truly wanted to emerge, that would naturally delight us, to happen without any sense of needing to control it? Can we trust that? Can we trust what naturally comes through? As a teacher, for example, of intuition and energy scanning particularly, and teaching, so many people, hundreds and hundreds of people, probably thousands, and depending on what format I've taught people, but so many people, teaching them how to tune in and do the scanning you guys see me do here. The word I always give them is trust, because you have to trust, because you will not think you can do anything. Your mind at one level doesn't think it can really do anything. Or then it goes to the other extreme and it says, I can do everything. I'll make it all happen. Can go to that extreme even, and the next, 3 minutes later, you might think you're worthless, right? So it's all over the place. That's just all the noise, just all that noise. We get into that ooh la la, there's that deeper connection, that lightness in our body, or just our presence. We get into the stillness. We allow ourselves to finally be still. We know we're held by the presence. We know there's a force flowing through us that we need not manipulate or control or twist this way or that way. But that's already got a sense of it being dead on. Our mind, because we think we have to measure up to something, there's a sense of measuring up or you're not measuring up and all this sort of ideas. Always think about, well, how can I make things better? How can I make things better? I would just submit to you, just as an experiment. I'm not, what's the absolute truth about things? I'm not here to talk about that necessarily. I'm just here to say, what if all that just really wasn't helpful? What if all that you thought was helpful and you thought helped you, but never really has been helpful? In fact, it's actually dragged down your vibration. It's actually impeded your ability to experience more vibrancy, more aliveness. What if that were true? What if it is true? Of course, so much of it does somewhat interact with our belief system, or in a huge way, right? You believe something's true, then all of a sudden it starts increasingly becoming what you're experiencing, and then, okay, you think it's that way, then you're going to experience it that way. Okay, all right, messing around with that idea, huh? All right, you have to keep experiencing it that way. One of the things I like to say, I've said, making a habit of saying again and again, because it's been really helpful for a lot of people, or a number of people anyway, is what if it's 1,000 times easier? What if it could be 1,000 times easier? Good to see you, Karen and Brian, everyone. What if it could be 1,000 times easier than all these ideas of how to make it all happen and everything? What I really have discovered is, by living in a deeper connection of presence, even though I experience the duality and I experience all the things that so many of us experience, but the more I experience more of the presence just flowing through me, without any trying to figure anything out or even tune into anything at times, like just not even that. I'm just here. We allow that to happen. Source answers itself through you. Source answers itself through you, and in ways that do delight you. It means a surrender. It means a surrender of the idea that I need to make it happen. I need to bring my will into it. I'm the force. I am this will challenge some of you listening. I'm the center point of creation in my life. But what if that in a way isn't really true? Isn't entirely true, at least, right? Maybe there's an experience that I'm the center point of my reality, the reality that I'm experiencing. But what if really there's a signal coming in, and if we distort the signal, all kinds of crazy stuff manifests. The center point of creation is source, right? It's not us. We're not doing it. Oh, but we have choice. We can make it happen. Yes, we can. We can make certain things happen, or at least have the experience of that. We can have that experience. How does it feel, though, to do it and then do it again and again and then triple down and do it forever? How does it feel? Does it feel heavy? Does it feel light? For most people, it feels heavy. It feels heavy to keep doing it again and again and again. So what if it were 1,000 times lighter, just to be in the lightness of your being and allow yourself to experience perpetual, just like the sun shining on us, right? Perpetual sense of I'm blissed. I'm being presenced through source. And yes, we have this experience of choices, and maybe we do have choices. Who knows? How can you know, right? The minute something's choosing, you don't know if it's you choosing or if it's just something happening through you choosing. And I would submit the latter is more true. Now that'll really mess with your mind, right? But you notice how all of a sudden something's coming out of your mouth or thoughts happening. Even your desires, like since I'm going to focus this desire, but it's already happening before you even announce it. Watch that a little bit. Watch how spontaneous life really is. Just submitting another way of looking at it. You want to hang on to the old ways, that's fine. I think it's fun. I do it too. I'll take control here. It's fun. But, then you come back and you start realizing, oh my God, things are just unfolding. I don't know. Maybe I do have choice. Maybe I can twist things around and make this happen, make that happen. It certainly seems true, right? But what if it weren't true? What if you want to live from a space where that doesn't need to be the case, that you need to get in there? What if you just choose to go with that way of living? And in that sense, you're making a choice, right? In that sense, you are making a choice. But just realizing that the thing that's happening through you, the point of creation is source itself. It's not really you. It's heavy when it's you. When it's you, it's 1,000 times heavier. Realizing it's not you. So we can't get into black and white thinking here. We can only have a conversation about something that's so simple yet so complex, right? It's so simple, but yet it's so complex. Because the mind, it's like, it's got to be black or white. So then it becomes complex because it seems like what someone like myself would be saying is contradictory. You just said there's no choice. You're thinking it's more spontaneous. That's what you thought, Daniel. Now you're saying, well, we have choice to let it be easier. Unless we don't. What's that all about? Don't we have a subconscious and all that kind of stuff, and we got to clear it and all that? But what if the fastest way to clear the subconscious mind, even if we needed to clear the subconscious mind, even if that was a real thing, is to just let go? Just again, another way of looking at it. What if it could be 1,000 times easier? Like my mind on this Monday is thinking, it analyzes what's going on and says, I haven't done anything to make it happen today. Not really. I better get going. But I have people emailing me and contacting me from seeds that have already been planted, right? From source through me, the center point of creation being through source, through me, already auto-generating. People have already reached out to me wondering how they sign up to work with me, right? Yes, I planted the seed. Well, source planted the seed within me first. And I can say, oh, that's mine now, right? Do we need to identify with this sense of a self that's making it happen, that I have done this? Do we need that? Or does that make it heavier? I think it makes it heavier, personally. Wow, when we can just relax, everything could be like looking at the sunset, or everything could be looking at a little like children, that we just we light up, like they're looking at nature, just nature in general, just we light up, and naturally frequencies are happening that we become aware of, and bring us into an alignment, an awakening, or whatever you want to call it, a realization. And then with that stirring, things are happening. Things are happening, or at least the experience of things happening is happening, even if you want to dispute that. But something is being experienced. There's an awareness that's being experienced. And it just tends to feel better. It starts to feel better when we let go. We all of a sudden, frequencies higher, maybe you want to call them higher, they feel better, so we'll call them higher, right? Higher frequencies drop in. All of a sudden we're like, whoa, I'm perking up, I feel good, I think I'll have another $1 million, or I'll think I'll have a Coke and a smile, if that's your thing, right? Some of you listening like that idea. Some of you are like, no, that's poison, throw that stuff out. That's fine too. What brings you into that sense of soul satisfaction? Just in that when you relax, it just happens. You don't have to figure it out. It's just that you're relaxing, and all of a sudden, there it is. Wow, light just turned on. There it is. It just relaxed just enough, and then there it is. I like to fight this idea a lot sometimes, inwardly. I mean, I'm like, wait a minute, don't we have to really make it happen? Come on now. Some real rigor in there. What I find is what's just true for you. What feels most enlivening for you? You've got examples. You listen to people online all the time. You'll have people say, yeah, I could sleep all day and make millions, be totally satisfied. And they're living their life, perhaps. Maybe they're living that life. And you got someone else. You know, gotta keep thinking about these people, like these motivational people, like a David Goggins, if you've ever heard of him, or think about what's the name of this guy? Tim Grover, trainer for Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, people like that, they got after it. That's how they achieve. That's how you make it happen. You got to focus it up. Hardest working gal or guy in the room. That's how it works. Goggins. I'll go into Goggins mode. I'll do 5,000 push-ups today. No one can stop me. But you have to ask yourself, with those ways of being that we may get enchanted by, like I get kind of interested. It's kind of interesting, right? But does it have a sense of lightness to it? Does it have a sense of lightness to it? Is more of our true nature a sense of lightness, or is it more tension, creative tension? Like there's these graphs. I don't know if you've seen these graphs, like I have a number of times, where I don't know if I can do it here online, but like they talk about flow states. So flow state is like this like diagonal, like curvy path on a graph, and then the graph will show like if you try to push things, you go into anxiety and tension. But if you get too passive, then you go into boredom and all this stuff. And it's just another, but here's the thing, it's just another, and then people say, here's the model. Here's how we get into this flow. Now you're not in boredom, now you're not in anxiety, and that's perfect. Then you got like David Goggins, the Marine guy or whatever, all this hell weeks he did and this and that, and he run a billion miles forever and not be hurt, not be touched, or I don't know, I'm exaggerating, but no, we go into the anxiety. The more anxiety, the better. And then eventually that'll disappear right away. And then you're in your higher flow state. And then other people say, no, like go into sense of boredom, go really still. And then you'll really, and it all lands with this idea you're going to connect. You're going to connect with, you're going to hit the mother lode, so to speak. Right? You're going to hit the mother lode of connection either way. And now you're going to experience this satisfaction, basically. It really feels good. But the sense of being in between, often we have a sense of ebb and flows when we're in all these in-between places, which we experience a lot of, right? So what's right, what's wrong? There is no right or wrong. That's the issue that people experience. There is no right or wrong. Really, in a sense, but there's what is calling to you. That's what is true. What's your truth? That's why I talk about living your truth. What's your truth? Your truth might be, for me, I need to be working 100 hours a week. I got to be working like a madman. I'm obsessed. That just feels right to me right now. And someone else is just the opposite. I sleep all day. I won't get out of bed until I'm like, spirit absolutely just drags me out of bed, and I'm going to just have the best time of my life doing that. And that maybe that's your truth. I'm taking the real extreme examples. But whatever it is, like, is it living your truth? And your living your truth isn't static. It's not like, oh, we got to figure out, we got a model now, or we just crank that thing. I don't teach it to other people. We got this one little model. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Now, there's none of that either. There's a listening. There's a listening. I would submit there's a listening going on that everybody's in. Everybody's in this listening. And the more we can deepen into the listening, the more we can experience like what is our truth. And the more we can be detached to whatever seems to be living our truth, we can have fun in a sense, from a soul-satisfying sense. We can have fun engaging in what seems to be true for us at that time. Judgment-free, to be able to experience full bliss and happiness and joy, or to feel the sense of intense dissatisfaction and to be with that, whatever it may be. What's your truth? You know, as light workers, we tend to want to experience things that feel lighter, right? We want to feel like we're letting go. That's why we have this power of surrender thing going on today, right? We want to experience the sense of, I want to unload all that heaviness. The sense of untruth would just be the sense of me having all these concepts about the way things should be, or like when my computer was, you know, it needs to update. Well, I need to do things on that computer right now, like it did today. Like, oh, okay. Or I'm trying to get on an appointment, and it's not coming together. Oh my God, I should be with them. I'm running late, and then, oh my God, my computer is updating. I can't. Instead, no. It's more like, oh, like Eckhart talks about. I'll give him the credit. But like as Eckhart talks about, like, you know, what about just enjoying whatever is unfolding? Oh, this feels good, just to be in my presence, just to be in presence, in the presence, just to be in the presence. Just okay. All right. Every moment is perfect. Every moment is as good as the last one because it's the same thing. The eternal presence is always the same at its core. It's always the same. So as I always say to people who've been around me the longest, give it to you guys here today, is it never gets any better than it is right now. Everybody's looking at when's it going to get better? When's it going to get better? It doesn't get any better. Now, your experience may get better in terms of how you feel about it, and your mind says this is better. But the truest thing of what we're connected to and who we are and where we emanate from and everything, we're connected to it at all times. When we surrender to it, it never gets any better. That's really scary to the conditioned mind because it's like, well, that's game over. Well, what are we going to do now? You just don't need it. It just makes everything heavier. You don't need it. Now, you have your conditioned mind. You're going to have patterns happening, and it's going to happen anyway. Even the most enlightened people have patterns. They have a subconscious. They have patterns. But we don't need to keep taking on more conditioning, is my point. And like a lot of the teachings that we get for marketing and sales and metaphysics and everything, take on more conditioning. That'll fix it. Condition yourself more programs. That's how you'll be the best person you can possibly be. Otherwise, you're going to be the worst person you could possibly be. All right, it's always like black and white, like these opposites. What if none of that? What if there's just a grace and ease we can surrender into? So that all gets us into just talking about like meditating and making money, you know, getting back to that one thing, like that was in the caption for today. And I have a meditation on my website. Many of you know about it. Some of you may not. It's called Meditate and Make Money. You want to check that out, just go to yoursacredpurpose.com and check it out. But it's an 18-minute meditation. And simply presence your chakras. We open them up, open them, so to speak. We presence them and allow yourselves to feel frequency and coming in to do some inquiry. You know, have the ability to do inquiry for a reason, I suppose, right? Anyway, I like to do it sometimes. I like stillness meditation the most, but we can allow ourselves to ask questions when we're connected. We take time to connect first. And we feel still. We feel settled down a little bit. If you're agitated, but you settle down, simmer down. Allow yourself just to ask, and what just kind of rolls in. Pay attention to it. Not to come to any conclusions even then. It's like, oh, that's fun. I guess I'm going to be a rock star. I'm going to be doing this and that. Because you got these big downloads and everything. But for most of us, like, like a lot of these downloads aren't really like the thing that's going to happen or you should really be doing. Sometimes it is, but it's pointing to something. All these downloads just point to something. Something that wants to be made aware of, wants to make itself aware of within you. Now, some of you meditate and you can't ever get any downloads, and there's different reasons for that. I'm not getting anything. Oh my God. It's okay. Then you're not meant to get anything, so to speak. Like one of you here, went to some retreat and went into an emptiness state, and they're told, like, yeah, there's Buddhist monks that try for their whole lifetime to achieve that state. And people aren't getting anything. Say, what's wrong with me? Maybe that's the thing, is you're not meant to get anything other than to be present. Anyhow, most of us will enjoy inquiry and will find it to be supportive. And we can ask questions. So this Meditate, Make Money meditation, we can do a little bit of meditating, making money today. Why not, right? But you can also check that out at yoursacredpurpose.com. And it's just that it seems as though the direction the world has gone is there are people who are going to become more fragmented and even more divided within. And then you're going to have more people increasingly that are leaving the planet. Then you're going to also have people who are continuing to ascend, so to speak, or go higher in vibration. And that's sort of like in general, like it's very general, but kind of some general categories of what's happening. I suppose it's always been happening. Maybe it's a little more intense right now, for sure, for some of us. But as we're ascending in vibration, then we've got an opportunity to relax, to just relax. We've done all the other stuff. We're here for variety. So why was it all motivational stuff? And that seems so true, and now it's not supposed to be that way. It's just, again, it's just things have evolved. There's just a time and season for everything. So for all of you, but for a lot of you, like, hey, sense of lightening up, letting things happen from a greater sense of lightness. It's not the amount of time and amount of actions you're taking. It doesn't matter. That's not what matters. It matters, like, what you're feeling, as so many teachers talk about. But how are you feeling? Are you present? First, are you present? Are you in the presence? How are you feeling? If you were to talk about how you're feeling, which you don't have to, but earlier stages, like, hey, how are you feeling? Oh, I don't feel good. Okay, well, what's going on? Let's take a look at that. What's going on? What's that energy trying to tell you? Because it's all trying to point you to feeling better, which leads you into presence. Or you can go right to presence. You want the most direct method. Most people aren't willing to go that direct, though. Not on a consistent, full-on basis, anyway. So your mind might be saying, this all sounds very impractical. How's this going to help me? So it's just a matter of letting it in. It's so practical. You are a receiving machine, You are a receiving machine, so to speak, receiving being. You're meant to be receiving, yet we've put up a lot of conditions for our receiving. So what we do when we're meditating, making money, is allowing ourselves to unconditionally receive, where you have the awareness of a thought or awareness of something happening, and then it just happens. You don't have to do a thing. It just does absolutely show up. Now, maybe you get a nudge to make a phone call or, to do a Facebook Live or something, and then it just shows up. Now, you're doing something, you're showing up perhaps. Maybe you're following your intuition, of course. You're following your guidance. or it just kind of just does show up, without doing a whole lot of anything. However it happens, it's just an experience, as though it just, by magic, it happens. Manifestation just happens. So, if I wanted to say so, I'd say, this is manifesting 5.0, or whatever I put a label on it. I don't know. It's far more comforting, right? So that's what I want to point to today. There's other times I might say other things that sound, again, totally like, what are you talking about? This doesn't sound like before. It can be very confusing to be with a guy like me sometimes, but all these things are true. Like, the overall direction is what I'm talking about. Then there may be other energies that arise. I really want to think this through. I want to get obsessive about something. Okay, maybe that's what you should be doing right now then. But I just want to kick ass and take names, and I want to be fiery and steely and do all this stuff. I want to make stuff happen. That really feels good to me right now. Maybe that's the direction for you right now. It's not wrong. Here's the thing. A lot of times with spirituality too, people are constantly making people wrong. Well, go ahead, do it. You're wrong, but do it anyway. You'll figure it out. No, it may be that person's path. It might be my path. It might be your path at this time. It's okay. Just, do what you can and go in with your eyes wide open and just being present to your experience, what's unfolding through it. Okay. All right. Okay, so again, good to see you all here. See Jackie's jumped in, Kelsey and Susan. And yeah, so we're gonna, wow, we're past a half an hour already. So I'd like to take you into meditation soon. Did anybody have any questions, thoughts, comments? I don't see anything here. My computer actually shut off, so I don't see any comments here. I saw hello, thank you. To see the hellos. Anybody that wants to, hey Karen, thanks for the hi. I'm here too, Lisa. Good to see you. So good. I'm seeing my comments here this week. That's good. It makes my life easier. I haven't to figure it out on my computer then. Yeah, just taking our time to listen from the listening. To listen from the listening. Yeah. Listening from the listening. And then your mind thinks, well, then I'm supposed to hear something, but maybe all you're going to hear again is silence. And that's really listening to the listening. It's not hearing anything particularly. There's a spontaneous, clarity that comes into us when we're willing to listen to the listening. So again, in your life, as you're trying to orient yourself to, your business, your life, what am I supposed to be doing? I don't know. Seems like I'm having a good time sometimes I'm not. I wonder if I'm doing the right things. So your mind is always thinking that. That's just normal. Like, am I doing the right thing? Listen to listening. There's no questions like that at all. Your mind says, maybe that's wrong. Maybe I shouldn't just be sitting here wasting my time. Any energy scan requests or anything today? Otherwise, I'll take us into a meditation real soon either way, but I don't really feel a group energy scan coming on for me today. Yeah. Guys are just enjoying the presence, right? Yeah, I might just do a meditation today then. Some channeled messages, I'm sure, might come through the actual meditation. I do want to remind you, while we're here, why not, to go ahead and register for the upcoming retreat. So that's next week, as a reminder. So let me see if I can have I figured out how to put a comment in here? Oh, there we go. Okay. There you go. So put in the link. So that's the link to sign up for the Power Surrender Retreat. And it's 3 days of doing what we've been doing over the last, few weeks, only a much deeper container, of allowing, much deeper for 3 days in a concentrated period of time, of meditating, of reflecting on things the way we are right now. And yes, we can ask some questions, maybe give yourself some mental clarity if that seems to be called for during the retreat. We're going to let the truth of what wants to come through the retreat. What happens for people consistently in these sorts of retreats, anyway, is people do feel more connected. They get a sense of deeper clarity about their life or their business. Something new comes alive inside you because you're connected with the presence itself in a way that has more permanence. And it's basically instructing you anyway. It's instructing you in ways that are far more profound than another book or another course. It's just allowing it to come, allowing it. It's just allowing that deeper listening. And then, there's cool stuff with channeling and my intuitive coaching and scanning and all that cool stuff. All that fun is part of it. It's all in the retreat. The way I do a lot of these things is some of it's planned and structured, and then things could change at any time, and I just kind of go with what the energy's like. Just like I do these lives. I don't have it all fully formed as how I'm going to do it each time. I just follow the energy, so to speak. Where do things want to go? So check it out. We're going to get started next week, so oh my God, you better check it out right away. This opportunity may never come again, which is very, very true. That retreat is never going to happen again. It's going to happen one time. Oh, check it out. Check it out. Right there. All right. So if there's nothing else, I feel like we're going to need to get into that meditation I wanted to offer you guys today. So, all right. Well, if you'll join me now. Let's have a little meditation and, surrendering into that presence even more. So go ahead if you want to. Maybe take another nice deep breath now in through your nose, up through your crown chakra, up through your higher self, up to love, light, source energy, up into the all in all. As you exhale through your mouth, let this energy come back down through your higher self, down through your crown chakra, down through all your chakras, through the physical body, through your auric field, down through your feet, down through your root chakra, down to the core of the earth. I speak these words in the I am for everyone to listen to my voice. I recognize God, love, life, source, spirit is all there is. I am one with the eternal. I am one with the infinite presence. I'm one with the essential nature of all life. Grateful I can rock and roll and drink and swear like a sailor if I want to, and it's all well. It's all just fine and dandy. And yet I can surrender, be the infinite peace. Can lose the sense of the self, to be one with all that there is, from the deeper space. I choose for right now to drop into that deeper listening. So take some deep breaths, continue to breathe, and feel that presence deep, deep inside. Only my mind could convince me that there's an emergency or some other matter to attend to. Even as I allow myself to hear these words, perhaps there's a fear or an anxiety coming up. Oh my God, he's right. There's something to be worried about. And then I feel that feeling, allow myself to breathe and relax again into the listening. Just giving thanks for the power of my mind's imagination. Give me the experience of a stir of a bit of anxiety or fear at any time. It may come up, yet I know it's just letting go, and perhaps with the assistance of a breath, perhaps with the assistance of just relaxing into my deeper spaciousness within. Feel free again. Nothing can bring me out of the presence. And no matter what is unfolding in my life or the collective life, I know I'm still one and connected with Source. The only one true thing that's always here now. The truest thing that's always here right now. Everything else is a permeation of that one thing. I choose that which is original over that which is a reflection. Come back to that original wholeness and wellness that I am. The unconditioned self. Breathe more deeply into it. Feeling the ground of my being as I breathe. Knowing the source of all life is right within it. It provides for all. It provides for the bank account. Even when it looks like someone else is giving me the money, I recognize it's just me allowing myself to receive unconditionally. From this point forward, I allow myself to perceive it as me just being willing to receive unconditionally, as is always true. And all it takes is that moment of letting go, and I'm able to receive. And yet, I allow myself to go even far deeper now, into this deeper spaciousness of my being, knowing I'm an open channel for all the good, all the awakenedness within me. The frequencies of joy, love, and fulfillment may want to spring from the silence that even exists inside of me. I'm grateful to engage. I'm grateful to feel it. To feel whatever I feel, even if it's nothing. That in itself has a quality to it that I'm willing to embrace. Embrace all of it. The tension, the fear, the joy, the love, the stillness, any and all, I embrace. I give myself to it. I allow myself to receive that which is here already. That place, easy, maybe even easier than my breath. As easy as my breath or easier my breath. the sense of that which wants to be realized to me washes upon the shore of my awareness in its own perfect way and perfect timing, with no striving, contorting, or making it happen. Even if my mind says, wow, I'm just going to be still for the rest of my life, I don't know, there's nothing going on here, I embrace that as well. I feel this peace. I feel this peace wanting to pervade not only my own awareness, but I know that there is a desire in the world for more of that to be realized by other beings. So I just acknowledge that. Those that want to receive more of that, I just acknowledge it. I just embrace that sense. I know that exists. I just embrace it in my heart, embrace it in my deeper presence. I know that whatever would delight me in my life, in my financial life, to meditate and make money, that is already in my deeper awareness. I already know, when I'm fully honest with myself, how it wants to unfold. In a deeper space that's automatic, that's instant and automatic, without trying to make it happen. Or because I'm afraid and I think that's what I need. But it's just something that delights me. Just like, oh yeah, that's real good. I like that. No attachments, no concerns about it. No striving, just, oh, I like that. I like that. I love it, I love it, I love it. I feel my natural desire just to share and to give with the world. And that desire to give and share freely of my presence, auto-generates the sense of thriving in my life. Know that it opens me even more to natural receiving. Just opens me that much more. If it feels good. If it feels good, it opens me more to receiving. I give from a place of already receiving so that I can truly give. Just as Jesus did, just as so many other examples did, but particularly Jesus, naturally receiving and naturally giving at the same time. It's all one. Allow myself to naturally receive and therefore naturally to give is all one. No striving, only allowing it to unfold. All life's a miracle and magic. Financial flow, clients, opportunities flow through me. So I naturally give myself to the spirit of generosity, to give and share, and to receive simultaneously. Knowing I'm fully supported every step along the way. Source has my front, back, center, and sides, because it's the only thing that's real and true. Therefore, always has me covered, of course. So allow myself to just experience the merriment of my soul. I'm grateful to just say yes to the things that feel true to me on this day, and take the next steps that are beckoning to me naturally, and leave the rest behind. Let it go. Say no more. Letting it be easier and 1,000 times easier and easier and easier. Experiencing more of my divine nature, to let it be easy if I choose to let it be so today. So as I choose to let it be so, I'm grateful to let it be so, to experience that vibrancy in my life. Let it be done. I give thanks and let it be done. knowing it's already coming into my life, that I get to experience profound new joy and love of giving and generosity flowing through me and my relationships and my business career and my well-being, my health and wellness. Every aspect of my experience of life, I'm just let go. Just allow myself to let go into it. No resistance. To the natural effervescence, flow of life itself. Whatever that may be for me. Without judgment, I say yes to it. Let it be most fulfilling. So let it be so. I let it be done. Thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. Okay. I already have it. It's already done. It's already done because it takes no time, so it's already been done. So everything I've been desiring is already done. It's already been done. Everything's already been done. It's already been done. Every time, space, energy, and dimensions, it's already accomplished. And I'm just delighted by that which I've chosen to let be so. This and something far greater. It already is. No need to do anything but allow it. Thank you, God, and so it is. Amen. Okay, all right. So grateful to share with you. We do give recordings for the retreat. Someone asked about the retreat. Lisa was asking about the retreat, I believe. So yeah, there will be replays every single day. If you're not able to make every single hour, every single day, there will be recordings as well. Okay, everybody, I was so grateful to be with you all, and I look forward to being with you next week. I will do another Facebook Live on Monday. If you want to join the retreat, there's a link in there for you to check that out and join us. And I look so much very forward to having you at the retreat if you choose to come. And look forward to being with you next week for another Facebook Live, okay? Okay, lots of love and blessings. Goodbye for now.